you know who you are? That's the topic for today. Do we know who we are based on what we do, our work, based on what we've been told, based on the schooling we've had, based on the people we hang around with? How do we know who we are? It's an interesting question that I've often thought of over the years because if you know who you are, then should that change? I mean, aren't we the basis of who we are? Who we are has different degrees, but when we define ourselves based on what others tell us or what we've been led to believe we need to be, that can create some resistance in the mind because on the one hand, we say, I want to be this, and on the other hand, we say, I want to be that. So if there's resistance, if there's conflict between these two, how do we know who we are? It's interesting because when I was growing up, I really thought I was a victim. Based on my childhood experiences, I would have said, well, yes, I definitely see myself as a victim. And when I learned that being victimized does not make me a victim, that was a game changer. So then, the story changed, right? About who I am, who I believe I am. Okay, well, if I'm not a victim, then who am I? And then I went in search of who am I? And then it became, well, I'm a mother. Well, first, I'm a wife, right? I'm a wife and I'm a mother and I'm this person who works where I work. But then it's interesting because when I got divorced, I was no longer that wife. So once again, I had the opportunity to say, well, who am I? But the thing is, when what we see as our identity is removed, whether by choice or experiences that happen and we didn't see that coming, now we put ourselves in that position again to say, well, who am I? If I'm not that wife, that mother, that homemaker, that homeowner, then who am I? But regardless of how you're asking the question, if you're asking the question, well, who am I? And you feel like you don't have an answer that sits right here, an answer that when you say the answer to yourself, without a doubt, you're like, yeah, man, that's who I am and I am rocking me. If you don't have that solid feeling within you when you answer that question, then what happens? Are you continually searching for who you are? Are you doubting who you are? It's interesting. I hear a lot of people talk about their why. Oh, my why is for this person. My why is for my children. My why is for my company. My why. But the thing is, people leave our lives. Children grow up. They start their own lives. We're still mothers. We're always going to be mothers, but we're mothers in a different capacity. Divorce happens, sickness, death, things that are beyond our comprehension. Now we question ourselves once again. Well, who am I? So it stands to reason that when you get very clear with yourself about who you are, then you have the basis to determine what you do on a daily basis. Because if you are very clear on who you are, everything you choose to do will be in alignment with who you feel that you are. Does that make sense? So think about it. If I say I am happy, well, I'm not going to choose to do things that bring unhappiness to me. Now, there are things experiences that will come up that, oh gosh, that doesn't feel so happy. Ooh, but I will know I am happy. And I will be able to look at that experience and say, okay, that is not within my who I am. So this is something I can let go of. Now, if this is sounding all like, where are you going with this, Nancy? Let's think about this in terms of what you do on a daily basis. Maybe you get up every day and you go to work, and you go to work at a job that you just absolutely cannot stand, but it pays the bills. Okay, so now ask yourself, well, am I this? Is this who I am choosing to be? This unhappy, unfulfilled person day after day after day? Do you see? If you're in a relationship that's unfulfilling and you get up every day and you repeat more of the same day after day after day, now you're telling yourself, you're trying to convince yourself actually that you are that person in an unhappy relationship. If you are finding yourself in an unhealthy body and you're frustrated and you want to let go of that and you want to be done with that, you are going to make choices about who you are based on if you believe you're a healthy person or an unhealthy person. So the question is not so much who am I, but who am I choosing to be? Because when we're very clear on who we're choosing to be, now we can make choices based on how we want to show up in the world, how we want to be our authentic self. And then we'll be very clear when something comes into our awareness or into our life and an experience that we have that doesn't match who we choose to be. Now we have the opportunity to say, oh, I choose to let that go because that doesn't fit with who I choose to be. Every choice then becomes an opportunity for you to be closer to who you choose to be, or move you farther from who you choose to be. And then, I think you see where I'm going with this, right? Life is all about choices. So if you're choosing to stay in a place, an experience, a relationship, of something that is outside of who you want to be, the next question that you can ask yourself is, why do I believe I need to be here? Why do I believe I need to be in this experience instead of who I choose to be? When you can be very clear on that, now you'll start making different choices. And those different choices, when you're in alignment with who you choose to be, will also raise your levels of self, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-love, your self-image, your self-worth. And as you raise those levels of self, you start to feel happier, joyful, all of those high vibrational feelings. And you know that you're feeling that because you're choosing to feel that. So if this is a topic that is calling to you, I invite you to ask yourself, who do I choose to be? Who do I believe I am? And who do I choose to be? If you'd like any help with this, I'm inviting you to visit masteringyourbeliefs.com. Spend some time on the site, check it out, and see how you can step into who you choose to be. And if you have any questions, ask your sensei. In the meantime, this is Nancy Muller, the one and only Life Sensei, saying ciao for now.